be a sentence that at some point we take a closer look at, just to make sure it's clear.
Just to make sure that the two of you, Thelma and Paul, realize that the board went through this long summer process, and then these were written up as new guiding principles. They weren't, we didn't have old guiding principles, which we obviously had, so we had them to look at, but these were written based on what the board did during that summer. And did take a lot more time to get together than we expected.
Yeah.
We went through a number of drafts, we went through lots of conversations to get to this point.
Prior to this, we had guiding principles, but they were adopted by resolution, by board resolution. They were not incorporated as a part of the student assignment policy.
And these were actually adopted as a resolution that summer, and then it was
Incorporated that.
put them in the
That's
policy.
absolutely correct. Yep.
And we did that because the old guiding principles were not easily found, and so people didn't even know we had them. I mean, the board knew it mostly, but other folks couldn't find them on our website. And so this way, by putting it in policy, we had to recognize that they were there, and we're supposed to follow the policy.
All right, I'm going to move on to, go ahead.
Well,
Sorry.
another thing in this area, this is something I mentioned to you several weeks back, is, we're saying that we want to accomplish our mission that every homeschool maximize student achievement, and I look at that as being elementary, middle, and high school. And from the state report that we got, and albeit we can argue the points of A through F, and what are they, but we do have students who are going to multiple F schools in their career. So it just doesn't feel, and maybe this isn't the place for this, but maximize student achievement, and I don't know. I know that if you look at the kids in the school, you're gonna have a bell curve.
Yeah.
High achiever, low achievers. I mean, that's just part of it.
Yeah, so I think part of the theory back when this was written, correct me if I'm wrong, was that if we did have a homeschool that was low achieving, particularly chronically low achieving, then that needs to be our goal to lift that school up. So that we're then providing a quality education for all students.
And that lifting up does not include student assignment.
You mean changing where they go to school?
Yeah. Right.
It did not.
Right, we did not.
What we were saying at the time was the homeschools are the basic place that kids are going to get their education, so we're going to put our best and first emphasis on the homeschools, not on other schools like Magnus. And so we need to make sure that they're the best they can be. And that's why homeschools were in the decision matrix, the first thing we talked about too.
Yeah.
And that's why we had a long discussion here about magnet schools and overcrowding and how much, what really is capacity and all of the things that we talked about for weeks, months, and trying to figure out how to make this better.
And I guess, we can talk about improving the school and lifting it up, and I understand that. That doesn't happen in a year, may not happen in 3 years, but for the kids that are in school, that's the only shot they got. So, I think we need to at least recognize that, and I don't know how you do it.
Well, you raised before that I passed on to the committee that what, if we want to have a guiding principle that you only attend one F school or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I
the
just
time
threw
of
that
CMS.
out.
Is there some way to do something like that in our guiding principles? To ensure that students didn't go through the whole system going to D or F schools.
And I just, I sit here and I look at what our principals are, And then I see kids going to multiple F schools, and I just question whether we could meet our guiding principles if we're allowing that to happen.
My take on it is, these were the guiding principles, and we're using them now for what, 5 or 6 years? For what? Okay. If we're not willing to take a look at doing something different, we're gonna get something. We don't, we keep doing the same thing, we're gonna, why would we expect the result to be different? If we keep doing the same thing? So I'm just for exploring the possibility of doing something different, see if we can get a different result. And I don't know what it different looks like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, guiding principles, there was a time when, I guess they weren't guiding principles per se, but there were, the board, this was before my time on the board, but the board at least struggled with whether or not we were going to limit the free and reduced lunch population in schools, or have something within 10 points or something of the average for the district.
That's in this old exhibit JCA-E2 that's in your packet. I wrote, previous 2004 version has been eliminated, but as you read through this, you'll see
References
in
to
the
that.
priorities,
Yeah.
all the different ways to try
And
to.
that was, those were priorities through, what was the predecessor to the current lottery system, right?
It was the lottery.
It was a lottery
Programmed
system.
differently.
Right. We've always had our current lottery under the current structure. You know, so. But maybe that, Paul, is what you're thinking. I know that we have the Title I. If you are in a Title I school and you have an extra boost then to attend a magnet program. So that's where we've had that before, somewhat similar. Now, obviously, we don't have Title I choice schools now, but that might be where that fits. I don't know.
Well, you know, I'm not sure that assignment is the right place to remedy that, but, you know, you've got to be able to take the policies and the way you operate and marry it together and put priorities in place for kids to be able to achieve. And, you know, there's so many different points you can argue about this. You know, what does it really mean? But I just think it's something to keep in mind as we go through the discussion. I realize assignment may not be the appropriate place for that.
Scott, in terms of other school districts that you know about, if they don't use homeschools as a base, what do they use?
They may use multiple schools as a base. So in other words, based off of an address, there may be 3 schools that a family can choose from, and then based off capacity, and depending on the time of the year, you know, if that family, you know, is brand new at a certain time of the year, then they may have a better chance of getting one of their 3. If they come in mid-year, then they may have a limited choice based off of capacity. But that's certainly one way to approach it. If you don't have a homeschool, then maybe a series of homeschools.
And it was after the choice plan that the homeschool really became a guarantee, right? Am I correct in that? There may have been prior to the desegregation plan.
Yeah, I think we've always had a homeschool guarantee. It is that with 2002, a couple of things happened. One was we eliminated the satellite attendance zones, so all zones were contiguous. And then number 2, eliminated race as a lever for equalizing schools. But those are the 2 fundamental changes that occurred.
And so part of what I do when people talk to me about this whole thing about student assignment is that we have basically resegregated the school district in terms of schools. So are you going to look at that when you do this student assignment plan? Are we going to try to come up with some way that we no longer have schools that are so, they may not be out of whack with their home school neighborhood, right? They're precisely they mirror their home school, but is that the school we want for the basic homeschool in the district? And if it isn't, then what are we gonna do to figure out a way to not have it that way?
And this slips a little bit into the legal side of it too, in terms of what specifically we can do, given the court orders and legal action that's taken place in the last 15, 20 years.
About which there are different schools of thought about. what
Exactly. I understand.
But really, it's allowed.
That's probably, on May 26th, would be a good day to treat the worst of the law. Instead of what you can use.
And there have been some court cases that have kind of evolved that thinking too.
So it seems to a lot of people that it's a no-brainer that you ought to be able to go to school near where you live. Seems to other people that you ought to be able to go to a school that you really think your child can learn something, and, you know, and you can be just blunt about it, but the other side of it, so.
And then there's that third part, the child will need to go to school in a diverse population, which will introduce them to the world culture that they're going to deal with next century.
How do we get there?
Yeah.
That one's a little harder to crack because it's, I mean, the population in and of itself segregated itself.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it's-
that's how we
that's not the school,
bring
that's-
segregated,
yeah.
is because our neighborhoods are segregated. And you can jump up and down in the city and say, well, then build some affordable housing in neighborhoods where we don't normally live, where they don't normally exist, where diverse populations don't normally exist now. And that'll be a solution that might work over 2 years from now, but it doesn't solve the problem today. And we need, if they're looking to CMS to prepare the student for the future in terms of working with people who don't look like themselves. And that goes both ways. It's not, just getting the minorities over to the majority, it's just everybody being able to work with everybody. Because that's what they're gonna see in the workplace. And if they don't ever get a chance to play with or work with or sit next to somebody that doesn't look like them, they're gonna be kind of like fish out of water and they go work. And it's not time to try to figure that out.
All right, so that we're about to where we were in February. This is great discussion though, because this is really the heart and soul of student assignment is homeschools. Where have we been? Where we are now? How did we get there?
And what are our legal limitations?
And what are our legal limitations?
So we
It's all
can't
part of
worsen,
that.
so what can we do?
Exactly. So these are all good things that we can capture and prepare for if we go through this journey. So.
As you were trying to explain to us just what we've got already.
Right, exactly. So if it's okay, I'm going to move on to magnet
Yeah.
schools,
Go ahead.
just so that we can